Hi, Maria Claps here, and today I want to talk to you about making a matcha latte. Now listen, I'm a coffee drinker, or I should say I was a coffee drinker, and I want to give you the backstory as to why I am now drinking matcha instead. I don't think coffee is bad for me. That's not why I'm switching. In fact, I'm one of these health people that thinks that is more of a coffee agnostic, meaning it depends on the person. So I'm not about to tell you that coffee is bad, but I will let you know that for some reason, coffee makes me anxious. Now, it never used to happen that way. So here's lesson little one is pay attention to your body. Not necessarily pay attention to what everyone says out there, but pay attention to how your body and how your body changes through the years and the decades. Okay, so back to matcha. Matcha is still not really very well known, but what it is a powdered green tea. It's super green and it is the whole tea leaf. Okay, so what I do is I get some matcha, and I really recommend that you start with a half of a teaspoon. A whole teaspoon is quite a bit, and you can put it right in a cup. So here's my cup here. And then what I like to do is I like to pour about 6 to 8 ounces of hot water. You want to use water that has just about come to a boil, not a rolling boil. And you can just pour that in. Now, you can see how bright green that is. Okay, see how incredibly bright green that is? And then what I like to do is I like to use, to make it a latte, I like to use some of that hardened coconut milk off the top. And I take about a teaspoon or two, so just a little bit. I plop it in there. I like to sweeten matcha a little bit. It can be very earthy tasting. I don't always sweeten it, but I usually do. And I use this brand of stevia. I happen to like it a lot, Omika stevia. So I'm just gonna, my cup is right down there. Just gonna drop in 3 drops. This is a really good tasting stevia. Now here is the rub. I am going to put it in this blender, and I'm going to, sometimes you will have a little bit of matcha that stays on the bottom because matcha can be very, very clumpy. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. This is truly the easiest way to make a matcha latte. And I'm simply going to just blend that. And now I'm going to pour this back in my cup, and it is perfectly ready to go. So I could have blended it for a little bit longer, but for this video purpose, I wanted to let you know, there's my matcha latte. Now, what I want to tell you is when you go to buy matcha, you want to buy ceremonial grade matcha. Anything else just does not taste that good. So make sure it says ceremonial grade. And I'm going to give you a little money saving tip. Avoid the cute little Japanese whisk and avoid the cute little matcha bowl. Now, traditionally, if you went to Japan, they would probably tell you that you would whisk it like this and then until it foams up. These things are lovely, they're cute, but they're going to separate you more from your money. And matcha itself, a good quality matcha. Here's another brand that I like. This is Matcha Ninja. And this is also good, Organic Traditions matcha. And then really my favorite so far is this Kama matcha from Matcha Source in, I believe they're in Los Angeles. Matcha will set you back. This ceremonial matcha is not cheap, but it's got antioxidants, and what really makes matcha different is that it contains a very rare amino acid called L-theanine. And L-theanine has this very calming, soothing effect. So you will actually get caffeine with matcha, but you will also get L-theanine. So it has both an energizing and a calming effect. I am finding that this is so much better for me than a cup of coffee in terms of it doesn't give me anxiety. It makes me feel good. It energizes me. Look at how green it is. It's got a tremendous amount of catechins, which is the antioxidants in green tea. Green tea itself has been thought to have weight loss properties, and this is just so delicious. So, especially when you make it a matcha latte. So, again, the point of this is to consider switching over to matcha if coffee makes you anxious, or if coffee upsets your stomach, or if you feel super dependent on coffee. Get a good quality matcha, save your money, learn from my mistakes, don't buy the whisk. You don't need a Vitamix, but you can use any blender. Simply blend it in your blender. Don't do the whisk with the cute little bowl. It's so not necessary. But I love having my matcha lattes, and I hope that you'll give that a try too.